part 1B of secret number 1. Prepare to become the CEO or hire the CEO. So let's get started. Let's get back into the analytics of your business. The analytics of a business is important to the operations of the business, and analytics are key. So analytics will basically tell you, it's related to conversion rate, right? So particularly for the small enterprise business owner, understanding what your conversion rate is highly important, and that's where those analytics come in. Now, I have an offer for you at the end. It's basically a free download. It's a calculator to help you understand your conversion rates. But your conversion rates are, you have to understand, the pricing of your service, the pricing of your product. You have to understand, what your target revenue goals are, and how many of those services, those products, those widgets that you need to sell in order to meet your revenue goals. And not only how many you need to sell, but how many people do you need to talk to? How many people do you need to interact with? That will then determine if you need to interact with 5 people to get 1 sale, or 10 people to get 1 sale, or 20 people to get 1 sale. You need to understand that. And then that will tell you how many interactions you need to have in order to get that 1 sale, in order to meet your revenue goals. But I have a calculator that I'll share with you that will allow you to calculate and understand what your conversion rates are. And it will be highly helpful because it will let you know, help you understand what you need to do on a daily basis. If you have people working for you who are salesmen, how many people they need to interact with, how many sales that need to be made, and that's where the CEO is important. And that's where the business growth is that's where the rubber meets the road, is understanding how sales are working, if they're working, what are the bottlenecks, what are the hindrances. So that's where analytics comes in. And then the CEO understands how sales relate to revenue. So if you're not selling, you're not generating revenue, you may not really be in business if you're not selling. So sales relate to revenue. And the CEO is keenly interested in how many sales take place on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, a quarterly basis, a semi-annual basis, an annual basis. So it's important because those sales, again, relate to revenue. And the CEO is focused on the sales conversions, as I mentioned. The conversion rate is highly important. And if it's not understood what the conversion rate is for your business, then you will likely struggle because you may not be interacting with enough people. You may not be interacting with the right people. I'll make another video on that, about interacting with the right people, the right target market, understanding what your real niche is, and if you have niched down enough to make sure that you are interacting with your right target market or your target audience. So I'll make another video on that, but it's highly important to have conversions in your sales. So the CEO and entrepreneur, they have similar responsibilities, and so that's there's no doubt about that they have similar responsibilities. But those responsibilities do differ just a bit. So they both manage resources, and those resources, those physical resources, they're responsible for, but they may have a little bit different focus. So from a leading people standpoint and managing people, the people that an entrepreneur manages and leads, they may be a little different because they may be other creatives and innovators, and they are burning and running and making sure that they're creating this new thing and building this new thing, Whereas the CEO, it's the steady state, right? And it's not that they're steady and still, they are steady and moving forward, but it's a different type of skill set, a different type of personality that they have and the people that they manage and lead have. So the CEO and entrepreneurs, they have responsibility for profitability. And so both are keen on profitability. But the entrepreneur is looking at profitability in a different way than the CEO. So the CEO is looking at those sales and ensuring that there's revenue growth. Entrepreneur is looking at that long-term profitability and what their new idea, their new baby, what it will generate and what it will do for them in the long run. So that may be that they have a goal of making a certain amount of money. Whether it's $1 million, whether it's $1 billion, or whatever, that's their target profitability. And entrepreneurs build infrastructure, while CEOs maintain the infrastructure. So even though they both have responsibility for the infrastructure of the business, one is building, one is maintaining. Entrepreneurs and CEOs need to understand their strengths. They also need to understand their weaknesses as well. But strengths are the things that they focus on, and where they have weaknesses, then they make sure they have someone coming alongside them, that they've hired the right people that fill the gaps where those weaknesses are. But they focus on their strengths, and that's what makes their businesses successful. So entrepreneurs and CEOs need to understand business scaling. So to scale is really very important to the CEO because that relates back to business growth. Entrepreneurs want to scale as well because they want to make sure that their business is being set up in a way that it will grow, but the CEOs maintain that. The CEOs understand that without sales, there's no revenue, which means there's no growth, and without revenue, then the bills can't be paid, which then the delta of those, the revenue and bills, is profit. So in order to have profit, you have to understand the revenue coming in, what's going out, and then that relates to profit. Then that relates to scaling, because when you scale, you are growing your business, but you also only want to scale at the right time. If you scale too soon, you probably will sabotage your business. So scaling at the right time is highly important. Begin with the end in mind to become the CEO or not the CEO. So for this particular part one of this secret number one, I want to share with you a resource that will help you with the conversion rates, because that is something that a CEO needs to understand. And whether you are going to be the CEO, or whether as an entrepreneur, or whether you're going to hire the CEO of your small company, then you need to understand conversion rates. So how can you be a respected, influential CEO and have a successful small scale business? Well, you got to know your analytics. You have to know how many interactions with ideal clients are needed. You need to understand, the conversion rate again, and how many interactions do you have to have before converting one client? It's so important. So how many offerings do you need to sell before your projected daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, annual revenue goals? So what are those numbers? So there's a link here where you can download the sales conversion rate estimator, and it's basically a calculator that helps you understand conversion rates so that you can put the right processes and strategies in place. And so https://www.charlesdentz.com/conversion_estimator. So I'll put that link also in the comment section below. Use this calculator to be the very best CEO that you can be in running your business. This will take you to the next level. So until the next video, we'll be talking about secret number 2, where you will learn the secret to not being stuck or getting unstuck so that you can make profits in your business, so that you can generate more revenue. In the meantime, download the conversion estimator. And if you want to really go deeper into your conversion rates and how to really put that into action, connect with me on my links page. That's also will be in the comments section. See you in the next video on secret number 2.